Hello friends, I would like to share my experience for giving the B2 Telc Deutsch Exam. The B2 pattern is like the laser verstehen, has 3 tiles. Each tile is 25 marks, total of 75 marks. Then comes your Sprachbausteine, which has 2 tiles. Each tile is 15 marks, total 30 marks. Hören has 3 tiles. Each tile is 25 marks, total of 75 marks. Schreiben is 45 marks, and you have to write one brief, that is one email, only of minimum 150 and maximum of 200 words. So that is 45 marks. Now for passing your B2 exam, you just need 135 marks out of this total 225. So this comprises of the one part of your exam. Mundlicher has 3 tiles. Each tile is 25 marks. Total will be 75 marks. So passing in this tile, you need 45 out of 75 marks. So that makes your second tile. Now coming to details, how to crack the exam. Certain tips which I used were for laser verstehen, tile 1. This tile is a little time consuming as it has 5 different situations and you have to give a heading to each, choosing from 10 options. I focused on understanding the context of each paragraph and then looked for 2 similar answers that were matching. Then I matched all the words of these 2 choices with the paragraph and tried to figure out if this title suits. Whichever had all the words or synonyms indicating the meaning in the text, I chose that answer. That will require a little practice. Then comes tile 2. This is a comprehension where you have to answer 5 questions. I observed after practicing that many a times there are 5 paragraphs and each one is related to that particular question. So it gets easier to select an answer. For example, question 1 is related to the fact written in the first paragraph and so on. Now comes tile 3. This tile has 12 advertisements, the regular newspaper advertisements, and mostly there are 2 non-applicable answers. That means you have to mark them as X, which means they are not applicable. So you read each ad and find befitting answer. This is the easiest of all the 3 tiles. Now next comes the most tricky, Sprachbaustein. Tile 1. This is generally an email and you have to fill in the blanks by choosing from 3 options. This is a bit easy if you know the grammatical things well and how while reading you are able to judge what answer fits best. Now tile 2. This is the tile which is really feared by all. It has a long article with 10 blanks. You have to fill it with given 15 options. Now, it gets really difficult when while reading the article you have to scan through all those 15 options every time because you just lose on the time. The best way to solve this is to separate and make a list of all the verbs, nomen, prepositions, adverbs, and other things and form like different lists. Example, when you read a sentence, so you know a verb fits best, so you can just scan all those verbs and choose the answer. This way you do not waste time scanning all the 15 options. Learn nomen verb Verbindung and the nomen verb adjective with prepositions. That will help a lot in Sprachbaustein. Now comes the Schreiben. You get 2 options. One is Bitte Information and second is Beschwerdebrief. You have to write one email. For this I had made a format. If you want, I can make another video on that. Like we have for English, example, a heading or subject. Then comes the salutation, introduction, body, conclusion, and the closing salutation. I had practiced 15 to 20 emails. I was comfortable with Bishwede brief, so I chose that one in my exam. Please do not make a mistake to practice only one type of email. Do practice the other type too, as you do not want to risk your 45 marks. Now I did not specify much on the Horen because that is all dependent on your practice. The first one, the tile, has all important announcements which you have to just write the answer whether it is plus or minus. Then the second one is kind of an interview, the second tile, and you have to listen and accordingly you have to mark the answers. Tile 3, again, it has like 5 different announcements. It can be in some market, in some festival, some event, and you have to mark the answer accordingly. Okay, now after this exam goes on for 2.5 hours. You get a half an hour break after this exam. Then after that you are taken to another room with your partner and given like 20 minutes for the preparation of your Mundliche, that is your Sprechen, your speaking. Now to prepare for discussion topic and for gemeinsam planning, you are not allowed to talk to your partner, but yes, you will be sitting on different tables. You will read the article and maybe you will be given a paper and you can just write down the main points. Now this also has 3 tile. Once you enter the room, you are asked to know your partner by introducing yourself. Just prepare your names, since when you are in Deutschland, married or student, and last, why are you learning Deutsch. Tile 1 is the presentation. You can pick any topic like travel, festival, book, your ideal person, film, etc. and prepare a 2-minute presentation. Be sure to choose something which you know well, as you don't want questions can be asked by your partner. Now, important tip over here, prepare at least 1 or 2 questions on each topic. For example, for travel, I had in mind to ask about something that has impressed my partner the most. And the second question, like what kind of souvenir did he or she buy. Then example for book or film, I thought of asking like, who recommended you this? Will you recommend it to others? Have you read or watched another book or film from this person? Tile 2 is the discussion is on the given topic. You have to read and understand. The tip is learn some Redemittels. The title of the article explains the article completely, so be very careful to understand it well. In your preparation time, just write a summary of the article. Few points for the pros and cons, and lastly, meine Erfahrung, which is your experience with the theme and how it happens in your homeland. Example topic is on school uniform, yes or no. So you can say how kids in my country feel like a team. Kids have a feeling of ownership, etc. in my country. Now the tile 3 is planning. This can be any kind of planning, like planning for trip, event, office trip, or any school lecture or speech, collection of funds for some charity, etc. Tip again, use some Redemittels. Be flexible. Don't agree to everything that your partner says. Give suggestions. If your partner talks a lot, then interrupt and say your point. And if your partner doesn't speak, then ask questions and ask for suggestions. Don't think if you talk, then it's okay. You can lose points. Being a foreigner learning a new language was very challenging for me. I had apprehension about my speaking, but I could really sail well through it. These tips and tricks helped me to pass my Telc B2 Deutsch exam. Please comment all your questions and requirements, and I will try to answer as many as I can. I can provide email sample, Redemittel I used, Nomenwerk, Verbindung list, etc. Hope these tips help you to pass the B2 Telc Prüfung. So if you have any questions, just comment and I will try to provide you as many emails or whatever information I can provide. Thank you. Happy to help.